it's a process, and it takes time, and there's progress and learning, and then there's healing, and then there's more progress and learning and more healing. So it becomes almost a cycle. But it keeps getting better. It keeps getting better. And what was really interesting to me was when I began to let go of the part of me that believed I was broken, I actually had to grieve that.
Yeah, right.
I had to grieve that part of me. Fortunately for me, it didn't take me very long. It took me about 2 weeks. But that was something I never would have expected, that I had to grieve that piece of me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's an important note to touch on, because it's like you have to grieve because there's death taking place. Right?
Exactly.
And that death is a huge part of it. It's like a part of you is being buried and to never be seen again.
Yep.
And so it's really important to touch on that part of grieving the very thing that you're trying to leave behind.
Yeah. My identity changed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you touched on diving earlier on.
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 questions for you. One, what is the most absolute beautiful diving experience that you've had, and where was it? And then I'll follow up with a different question after that.
Sure. Actually, and I've done diving in the Caribbean and the Keys and Florida and places like that, Cayman Islands. And those are certainly beautiful dives. But the most spectacular dive is actually a dive that I did at Nebel Lighthouse in York, Maine.
York, Maine?
In Maine, yep. And here's what happened. Yeah, I was going for my advanced certification. Excuse me. And it was a night dive. It was part of the, requirements. And I've done a bunch of night dives, so this was no big deal for me. And it was probably in May, so the water was pretty cold and the sun was just setting. And my instructor and I, we go in and we have a plan. We're going to work through some underwater navigation skills. And we did that, and we completed that, and we were headed back towards the shoreline. This is a shore dive. You can, you drive up, you walk in right off the rocks and dive into the water.
Yeah.
So it's very convenient. And we had a school of juvenile fish. I can't even imagine how big the school was. And they were fish about this big. And they came right up the shore. And they went right by us. Now it's dark at this point. And they're a very silver color. And we were completely engulfed in this school of fish that was just whipping by. And they're reflecting our dive lights. So it's like this silver shimmering that's happening. And I would reach out and I would try and touch them, and they would just move away. And then I'd pull my hand back, and a couple bounced off my cheeks. It was, we were just in awe of the moment. And this is in my book, but it was absolutely spectacular. I had been diving since I was 17. Like I said, 300 dives. My instructor's probably got 500 or 1,000 dives under his belt. And we just, it only lasted for about 5 minutes, maybe 10.
Yeah, right.
And we were just in awe of this incredible experience. And then all of a sudden they were just gone.